Welcome everyone and welcome to All in All United and a happy new year, a happy 2021. And by the looks of it, fellas, we start off on the right foot. You know, I mean, 2021 has started so good for us United fans so far. Um, Coming, off this result today, I mean, I guess I'm speaking for everybody, but I know you all will have your say as well. But I mean, we feeling real good.
Mhm.
We feeling real good. Fellas, how we
Yeah,
feeling? How we feeling all
Mhm.
year?
yeah, boy. This is what United feels like.
Mm.
Here's what United feels like. Definitely challenging at the top. You know what I mean?
That
Where we definitely feared and respected. I think that is United, and that is where we are right now.
Settle to me on.
yeah, man, definitely brings back memories, man. It's like, yes, this is the team I remember. That I mean, this game. I mean, watching all those other teams drop points and watching us, Manchester United, the team that was so dysfunctional, pull through and get that win. That's great, man. I feel great. There's still a few issues with the team, but if slowly, slowly but surely, you see little things get fixed. It ain't all together yet, but slowly but surely, you're seeing things get fixed. So I'm positive, man. Definitely positive.
Well, that's good to hear. Fernandez United, talk to me.
Yeah, it feel good because for the past 2 days watching all them names on them that the post, with Villa join against Chelsea and against Tottenham and when that face United the back question mark by it. And plenty of people say, United was going to lose and them kind of things because they can't win big games, but it feel good today to know that we could silence all them critics and them who saying, United can't win big games and you know the door were good under pressure. Now we're seeing that, the team actually moving positively in the right direction and they're playing with the intensity that we want them to play with.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. I think also Reeves there's another line, and I mean a football line, and they say, well, nah. United beaten Villa at all. I said that's not happening. They said he formed Villa in United not winning. I said the only how Villa could beat United is if the park the bus, right, and let's wait for we any counter. That's the only how Villa could have win that game. The moment that Villa decide to play we toe for toe, I said they can't win that game. You know what I mean? Don't mind yes, because are tight affair. And we had some excellent saves, during the game. But the moment that team decide to play United toe for toe, the in for a third time. And I guess Pep would have seen that, and that's why Pep played defensive as he did when we played against them. Because if you decide to play to the to United, you're in for a long night. And again, today was a day like that.
Yeah, yeah, that definitely. And I don't want to get sucked into that vortex of a title challenge and a title pushback. Can't help it, tell you. I actually feeling like we could really challenge
No,
for the
but we
title.
already challenging Fate already. We're looking like we challenging Fate already.
I don't know. I think it's too early. I still think it's too early, but because so I kind of being real reserved with that talk. But I feel like I'm getting sucked in, but I want to say it and I want to be convinced and I want to run with it now. But
Yeah, Reeves, boy, yes, it's early, but to me, you're seeing a mentality in team, boy. You're seeing a championship mentality. You're seeing a mentality that even when we went behind, well, we say, as we pass when we go behind, I mean, we could have come back. And even today, when Aston Villa pull the game level, you felt like we had another gear to go where we could have scored now. So even today, when we end up on level pegging, you always felt that hey, we have another gear to go. We have another goal in us, and you saw that the team didn't give up. You saw that the team believe now. And to me, that's the championship mentality. You see, when you had a mentality where you believe that, hey, this game is not over, hey, we still have a result in this game. And I think that is when you start to see the championship mentality. Even if you don't win the championship, I think the mentality developing that even if you don't win this year, right, then even next year will be more of a title contender because we develop that mentality to challenge now. And we develop that mentality to say, here what, we're not giving up. until until the last second, until the last minute. You saw it against Wolves. You saw it even today. You know that we continue to go until the last minute, and that's the championship mentality that we are accustomed to at United.
Nico, I sold him. We decided to rest. Only we win in the league. It sounds like a real salesman house.
Yeah,
We win in the league. Liverpool already. You want to say something, Fernandez?
Well, today watching the match, it feel good to see how the players look and how they play well and everything, especially by gosh, them tackles on them today. I wouldn't lie. I had to go somewhere else and watch that match, the full thing again, just to watch them tackles on them.
With all the emotions involved.
Yeah, with all the emotions.
Yeah.
All right, so let me get one comment from Arvin, and then we'll get into the team news, the team sheet, and our initial thoughts when we saw the team sheet, right? Arvin Ramusa, everybody, thanks for joining. He's saying, just one comment for the night and I'm out. No problem. He said, never saw United play football like that in a long time. Really enjoyed the football today. Pogba was 100 and Cousins, Martial. The other, anyway, I'm leaving for Nico to praise Martial. I ain't gonna say nothing, Anyway, guys, so the team sheet, what were your thoughts with the team selection today going into the game? I mean, I think Nico had mentioned it before. Aston Villa, they were really flying high, they were getting the results. And we knew that this was going to be a tough fixture, They played against Chelsea and they came from behind. They showed that kind of spirit as well. They would have been getting the, their results as well. So we know it wasn't going to be any walkover, right?
Yeah, happy New Year, pal.
Yeah, man. So it was important for us to show up today, I didn't even mind playing badly and winning, but it was important for us to get the result. Let me talk about the team sheet. Nico.
Yeah, today, me, long as I see Maxos and Fred in that midfield, I just be comfortable because I know that our back four is really need that protection. With Bailly coming into the defense, though, you're seeing where now. Maybe we may not need, especially against certain teams, we may not need that two defensive pivots. But the team sheet today reflected something that I think would have been our best team. I think today's team would reflect our best team. I know maybe the only person out of the team, maybe Greenwood, but the team today, always, let me say, if we take out our defensive midfielder in Fred or even McTominay, but more McTominay because we know the engine in Fred, and we bring in that Greenwood, then I think we on to something. So I think the team sheet today didn't disappoint me. I think it was that team sheet where Oli made the right amount of changes. I think it was 4 changes in the last game. The team was fresh. If you saw the start within the team, I think we started very confident. I think Oli got the team selection right today.
Yeah. Talk to Mastinian.
Well, man, I mean, the team selection looked good. My only question was Rashford. I remember you saying that Rashford played so many games, had an injury when it started. So I saw him play the whole game, and that's what I was questioning, was the Rashford start.
All right.
What is he for? What was he for playing the team right now? One of the form players.
And I think this game would have been the one that you would not want to risk any informed players.
Yeah.
I thought the Wolves game would have been the one to rotate now. But not this game. Not in the kind of form that
because it had teams during the season that's peak form, and especially the lower level teams at times in the season where they peak and then they drop back, and then you might see 3-4 games on the road, Aston Villa lose all. But right now they were at their peak form, so I think rotating heavily and resting your form players could have been a mistake. And we'd have questioned it if Oli did that and we lost.
Yeah.
Or even
Tell me, Fernandez, talk to me. Team sheet.
Yeah, I think Nico said it right. I think Ali get the team selection right, and it'll always be a joy to see Fred and McTominay in the midfield. The man marking would be on point, especially with Fred. He wins a lot of ball in the midfield, and I must say he is a well-oiled machine inside there right now. And seeing Bailly for the second time feels good. Once he could stay fit, I all in.
Yeah. My thoughts. I knew when I saw it, because Oli was saying, I think it was when we were playing City. Everybody's saying it was a 4-4-2 diamond, but he was saying it was a 4-2-3-1 and Pogba was playing wide right. So the fact that Pogba could play in so many different positions, Bruno could play in so many different. The players that we have in the squad, they're so dynamic in terms of how useful they could be and how fluid they could be in different positions. This make it very good for us in a sense and unpredictable for us. So teams can try to figure us out and set up any kind of plan to nullify us. So I thought that was real good because Pogba was playing more advanced. He would have drift left, but he wasn't playing like a left winger because he had the freedom to come inside as well. And what helping that is the fact that you have the likes of McTominay and Fred in the midfield to be that kind of protection. And then when Pogba tuck in, you have you have Shaw giving it that kind of width now. So it making the team click. It giving us the opportunity to see Pogba and Bruno play in the number 8 role. You understand? And Pogba getting more freedom to attack. And we've seen when he enjoying the football, he willing now to fall back and defend now.
Yeah.
So I thought I like that. I know Nico talk about Greenwood, and I think for me this formation might be the one to go forward. We're getting the best out of the two most important players in the team, and that is for me, Bruno and Pogba. And if this could mean that we could actually keep Pogba, then let it be so, because we've seen levels of Pogba that we've been crying out for quite some time. So I was pleased with it. I know, it would mean then that we wouldn't be playing with the 3 natural wide attackers like what we're accustomed to with Greenwood coming on the right, Rashford on the left, and Marcel through the middle. But I like the dynamism of this setup and the kind of protection given our attacking players with the industry of Fred and McTominay. Even though I think McTominay had one of those kind of howlers today, but
definitely. I'm a player. I don't know that. But I can't defend him because it was a difficult game for him. He struggled today, and I wouldn't defend that. I think otherwise, it's difficult to blame or to pinpoint that any other player had a poor game today. I think the rest of the team would have picked up for the slack of maybe or the efficiencies or the poor performance or the off day of a McTominay today. I think the entire team, I think Pogba today was exceptional. I think the energy I saw from Pogba today, I don't think I ever saw that from Pogba for United. I don't know if it's because now he is starting to believe. I think he's starting to believe because I think the performances have been consistent. So it's not like one-off performances where he's saying, well, all right, maybe I hit in the dark, because it's consistent performances game after game after game. I think the last game that we were disappointed would have been the Champions League game. I think since after that, I think our form has been, you can say we have been the best team in the Premier League, definitely. And I even said that before, that I think that Oli has a handle on the Premier League, but I think is a European type football that he a bit struggling with at the moment. But he really has a handle on the Premier League. And I think maybe Pogba has buy into the form of the team, because I have never seen for a long while the effort that Pogba is giving for United that he gave, especially today. Even the other games that he has been coming on, and the effort that he has been given coming on, you know, even after being on the bench. Maybe says Pogba, you know what I mean, a brand name, you know what I mean. Pogba by himself is a big seller, and he would have been coming off the bench, would not have been feeling good about that. But even when Pogba came off the bench, you have seen Pogba ignited the team, and you have seen the team responded when Pogba came on, and you see the performances of Pogba. And today was another day where from the first minute to the 90th minute or the 95th minute, Pogba gave his all for United. And I think today was an exceptional performance on Pogba.
You all think, Simeon, you think if we were to, as Nico had mentioned earlier, if we were to mount a real challenge, and let's just say by the stretch we don't win it, but we come second, and it's a close second, you think that that's something that will encourage Pogba to reconsider his, or what we think is a decision already made to leave?
I think he's still going to leave. I still think Pogba is going to leave come summer. I think he's just, I mean, it's not he hate the team. I mean, he liked the team, but he wants to be somewhere else. You know, all this, you know, all the great, you know, plays from Pogba is good for us. It's good for him, but I just think it's his time, and he knows that. You know, I mean, if he plays like this as a Manchester fan, you want to see him stay. But if the man want to go, I ain't gonna make him stay. You know, I think it's his last chance to prove, you know, or at least to bring him a trophy.
But I mean, I had this thought in my mind because, you know, it's all about finding a new lease in life, and you know, the team and I would refer to what Nico was saying again. You know, you're seeing a new sense of belief within the squad. You know, and I just thinking that might, because remember, one of the main reasons, at least what I think, as to why Pogba will be pushing for the move is because of ambition. Probably because before the team wasn't showing the levels that, you know, he wants, so that he can achieve what he wants to achieve in his career. You know, and I mean, to some extent, fairness to him, but I just thinking now, we're seeing something different happening with the team. You know, games where we know we would have dropped points last season or season before, we actually gained the 3 points. You know, so I'm thinking that if we were to actually challenge, or let's say we pick up 2 cups or 3 cups and come second, a close second to the league, if it might change Pogba's mind. Fernandez, United, Nicole, I'll feel free to weigh in as well.
Well, we're saying is true because I think it was before Pogba was injured. It had this post where we was on a winning streak, and it had this post. He was like, I love the feeling winning with United and this and that. So I believe it's because the team was kind of at a little standstill. That is what he couldn't handle, because Pogba is like one of the most experienced players on the team right now, coming from Juventus. He have a certain level to keep up. He have a certain standard. So, you know, I mean, if it is he keep on losing and he not winning trophies, then no other team might not want him. And I mean, every other player want to win trophies.
Yeah.
So,
also on that, Reams, I think what is helping Pogba right now is that he doesn't have the burden of being chief creator and chief maestro within the team. I think that is what's helping Pogba. I think before Bruno was there, we would have been looking to Pogba as the messiah in terms of the creator, in terms of the scorer of goals, in terms of the player who get the team to tick. That is what we used to look to Pogba as. He didn't have no other player in the team that we could have looked to say, well, hey, that we game changer, or that is we game changer. You know, I think that pressure being taken off of Pogba with Bruno, with that weight now, not on Pogba, because I really don't think, because even if you look at the French national team, Pogba is not that type of player to take a team by the scruff of the neck and tote them to the finish line. Pogba is not a player. but he will assist and he will give it all in assisting and doing that. But before we had Pogba was the man who doing that, and maybe our hope was that he would have developed into that player who would have grabbed the team by the scruff of the neck and took them to the finish line. But for some reason, he have never developed. Maybe that is not his nature. Maybe that is not his personality. That is not his natural traits. Where we see now Bruno has that natural trait in terms of taking a team to the finish line. And Pogba now, you know what I mean, is willing and giving his 100% to assist in taking the team to the finish line. So I think that burden that has been taken off of Pogba to take the team to the finish line is why we have been seeing, well, as for now, consistent performances and the best performance.
But you think, Nico?
Nobody knew what Pogba wanted. Between Pogba and his agent, nobody knows. Between Pogba and his agent, no one knows what Pogba wants. He might say something, his agent say something. Nobody, I mean, it's one of those things, man. It's like nobody knew what Pogba was going through Pogba's head.
Maybe he's a middle ground, and maybe the middle ground is more money. Maybe that way.
Or even ambition, because I mean, money. We know money is a factor, but I am more thinking ambition. And this is what I'm asking: if Pogba is seeing the team actually showing ambition, and the desire and the drive, and we actually seeing things happening in terms of moving to the next level as a squad, then could that now say, well, if the price is right, because we know this is a money business as well.
Exactly.
Right? If the price is right, then Pogba could well and truly stay. So
I could see that happening as long as you sort of said, the ambition is right, the direction is right, and the money is right, then possibly you could see Pogba staying a year or two extra.
Yeah. Hey, Gregory, welcome, man. I don't know if you're excited.
Yeah, boy. Technical issues again. You know it is.
That's how it is going. I have experience with the last few reviews. I feel your pain.
Yeah.
But
yeah, man. Same here. And everybody in the panel, good evening. Everybody tuned in as well too. It was an interesting game to watch. I was glad that we got the win for sure. I know a lot of controversy was stirred up because of the penalty that Paul Pogba won for us to get the second goal. I just look at it from this perspective that we've been punished for softer things, we've been punished for harsher things. So I taking it for what it is. When I see in situations where men like Eric Bailly getting penalized for a handball that wasn't even in the box, all you're really telling me, right? So I look at it from that perspective. I mean, it was a professional win. I just felt like we could have kept a clean sheet if we just wasn't watching Traore on that run. But other than that, it was a good game to watch. It was intense for everybody.
All right, nice. So I think Simeon brought it up. So he spoke about Pogba, and I mean, I don't know what your thoughts are, but before we get into the actual, game, play, we just want to highlight, two players. Now, I thought, in my opinion, the two standout players today were Pogba and Bailly. So Simeon brought it up. We spoke about Pogba at length just now. So let me get into Bailly now. So Simeon, start with on Bailly now.
Hey, this man, Bailly, man, like, as long as he don't lose his head, I mean, because every time he loses his head, it's yellow card one time. Once he don't lose his head, I mean, tracking back, shielding crosses. I mean, where to start, man? He's just calm. I mean, it's just calmness, But once you lose that calm, it's yellow one time. But once he had his head on, our back line looked so just cool and collected. Maguire didn't have to chase the body down, except once. The one time he had to do it, he pulled the man down, get a yellow card. But like Maguire was comfortable for most of the match, and like Bailly was just, all over the place.
Yeah, to me,
can't say enough about Bailly.
Yeah. For me, Bailly performance, saving Maguire out of blushes, or not only saving Maguire blushes, but I think is a perfect compliment now. because now the defending that Maguire doesn't like to do, chasing back, Bailly is comfortable doing it. So Bailly is taking a responsibility and he is excelling at it. And also because Bailly is so aggressive and so will show his body on the line to save United, I think that is definitely helping. I think the save that he made at the end of the game was match saving. I don't think Bailly or Lindelof or anybody else in the team would have shown the body into the line of fire like that. I think he definitely saved us 3 points today. It's just really, as we always say, just for him to keep his head and just stay away from injuries. Keep your head during games and stay away from injuries. And I really would struggle to see. Nobody could happen, man. But at this moment, and the format Bailly is showing, I'm struggling to see Lindelof walking back into the starting lineup.
Fernandez.
Yeah, well, as I said, Bailly was my man of the match, but I only assessed Pogba after the Liverpool game. But to me, the other man of the match that I think who played very well was De Gea. I had a game that today.
He was
De
good.
Gea was very, very good today. I must say he was real good.
Right.
He was Bailly and Wan-Bissaka. I like my Wan-Bissaka game and with the assist.
Yeah.
He had a strong game today. The whole team I find was good, but I find Wan-Bissaka was okay today.
All right. Greg, tell us what your thoughts on Bailly's performance today now.
No, I mean, remember last time review we did, I said that I think that the Bailly-Maguire partnership was something we could see going forward because you have each other, those two players complement each other in ways that, whereas one is more composed, the other one is not afraid to get stuck in. You saw that today. Bailly is one of those players. Once again, you saw the tackles he was willing to make. You saw the kind of things that told you he reminds me of a black vision of Nemanja Vidic. And to an extent is where you see that control aggression comes out every time. He knows how to get in. He knows how to chase back. And he's not afraid to run at you. So it's a good thing to see, and he's also a very good ball playing centre back as well too. We see he makes very good passes going forward. I mean, he wasn't the only one that stood out for me. For me, it was good to see Anthony Martial getting a goal again, which was another thing that really made me feel good about it because you're seeing your number 9 finally getting back on his score sheets, and also going forward, like you said, Wan-Bissaka.
Greg, I wanted to reserve any compliments on Marcel for Nico. So.
That's how we done. As we want to, no, that's saying I don't know. That's saying everybody, you know what I mean? Got a comments on it. Was an excellent goal from Marcel today, right? However, it's an excellent cross from Wan-Bissaka.
I was getting to that.
That's right. So the goal that he scored. Is that run that a number 9 normally makes, or is it a goal from the training ground? That is my question. Because to me, as a striker, a normal number 9 striker would have been busting to get the ball to the front now, but not to the back. However, it could have been that the something in training, right, for Wan-Bissaka to play the ball back. For the striker coming on to attack now. So I don't know what was your thoughts on that, on that goal.
Rin, you want to go ahead or
Yeah, you go ahead. I could do it Nico after.
I look at it from the aspect of that any team that they know, okay, the strikers or the certain players on the team play well to a certain style of football. So maybe it was a training ground thing. Maybe it was something that they did work on and say, all right, you know what? He's not basically the best point man at times. So they said, all right, let's try and play balls through to be able to let him run on and be able to get to latch on too quickly or get something that he can build on. So it helps either way. The important thing is that the end result is that the ball ends up at the back of the net. You can't ask for much more than that, honestly, out of your strikers. And this is something that will help him build confidence and build form going along. So whether it's something, okay, as Nico said, your striker's supposed to be busting a gut to go forward and looking to latch on to any ball that coming inside the box. Yes, that's true. But we know that Anthony Martial's not a typical number 9. So it's going to be one of those situations where he's going to have moments where he has that poacher's instinct about him. But today, he found his finishing. And I can't ask for much more to Martial than that right now. The important thing is that he's getting back amongst the goals.
The next thing too, right? And I'm hoping that as football people, we taking time to understand, right? One, when you consider you have one striker in the box, so the defenders, all they have to do is manage their line, right? The likelihood of Wan-Bissaka, now we know as well, Wan-Bissaka don't put in the kind of quality crosses that will beat the first defender. For Martial to run, quote unquote, like a proper number 9, right? So Martial knowing his player and understanding the situation in the box, it will be futile trying to run and break the line to wait for a ball that the likelihood of it coming across to pass Mings, to pass Konsa, to reach him for tapping from a traditional number 9, the likelihood of that slim to none of you. Let me be real.
Don't do that.
No.
Don't do that.
Let me tell you something.
Because
go back and look
Lewandowski, he not making that run. Lewandowski running between the strikers. He cut it back there. I just say.
Yeah, but you have to consider two things, Nico. One, how much times that delivery they've actually reached. We're talking about the player bringing the pass in. That ball, watch me if that ball went. And that the reason Marcel made that was because he knew he didn't calculate in his mind already. Listen, trying to go inside, I'm not gonna get a ball. Right?
You see, that's the mentality I have a problem with. That's the mentality I have a problem with.
What is wrong with
I understand, right? No, that's the mentality I have a problem with. Because if Rashford thought like that in the Wolves game, we would not have won that game.
Exactly.
What you talking about?
No, that striker, you can't be thinking, that ball is gonna reach me.
No, what I'm saying, Nico, is you have three defenders already in line, waiting to
that was two. In fact, it was one. Anyway.
Three.
But that mentality where you talking about thinking that that ball is gonna reach me. You see the moment you start to think like that as a strike. You have to believe that that man didn't miss a ball.
Nico, you are the only attacker in the box. 3 defenders already protecting the line. What is wrong with you saying, hey, here we're gonna let me hold my run and that diagonal? What is wrong with that?
Nothing wrong with that.
That cross is what we see Tyrone Mings, because I'm telling you that came across the face of the goal would have been intercepted. How much more success did we have for crosses like that throughout the game?
They had much crosses otherwise. They had much
20 crosses coming across the face of the goal. Watch man.
You find so? For who?
Yeah. And always
you're not covering the team.
Nico, all the other times Marcel ran directly in line with the defenders, the ball were intercepted. Watch it back.
All right, I'm gonna watch it back.
I ain't watching here. I ain't saying what you're saying wrong.
I just say that if it was a number 9 run, or that's a run where you give up, and you say, well, boy, that ball is and he just
No, I ain't accepting that. That was a brilliant goal. You understand?
No, it's a goal. I'm not fighting the goal.
The ball came back.
I was just thinking about this striker's mentality.
Tyrone Mings tripped up because he expected to come across the face of the goal where he knew he would have had it covered. And when he realized it was cutting back, because Marcel made a diagonal run instead of a straight run. And that's how Marcel was able to beat the defenders and get the goal.
Yeah, well, what I said, Reeves, is if that was a calculated run or a run that the ball has end up to him.
How you can say that just end up there?
That is a Reeves. Don't do that. That has happened.
No. Watch back.
across the goal, I'm not gonna get so.
Yeah, what to do, right? Watch back the game.
Yeah.
Watch back the game, put your emotions aside and watch back the game and tell me if that was food.
I'm not fighting the man. I glad Marcel got a goal. You right? I tell I could be more happy. You know, but the run was not a classic the man I run. But I happy the man scored the goal.
Live. Anyway.
I can be unhappy that the man scored the goal. I just watch the run and question the run if it is a really a proper number 9 run or if it's like alright, you know.
But that is
if you was really happy, Nico, if you was really happy, you wouldn't be questioning the run. You'd just be glad I
why not though? No, because I was top quality strikers on my team, man.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, all I'm saying.
Look against Wolves or Rashford. They took a deflection. You're questioning it?
He don't question nothing. He don't question nothing.
You're questioning that, Nico. Are you questioning Rashford against Wolves?
Of course, mentality. Because he never say die, right? Good mentality, right?
So you saying Marcel didn't show that mentality for his goal?
A lot of the times, no, he doesn't show it, but for some reason, the ball fell to him and he finished, which was good.
Anyway, guys. So
Marcel prints out this man for it, right?
What's fair? Nico is the parallel for Ramdas. You know, Maguire out. We have Marcel out here.
No, I am not saying Marcel out. I am saying I want consistency from Marcel. That's all.
But Nico, all right, let me ask you something.
When chances fall to Marcel, that he would finish, that he wouldn't fluff, that he wouldn't go for power when he's supposed to go for placement.
15 chances in that game.
Say that again?
I think men like Rose could throw 10, 15 chances in that game, man. Come on, let me real hard.
At United, we don't get them chances, boy. At United, we must boy. So when they get we had to play it away.
Greg, you know he ain't gonna talk about how much chances Rashford could have play off the ball and pass today and he take the shots with his greedy self. You understand? But because he informed.
Maybe that was planned too.
Okay.
That was planned in terms of. No, maybe it was planned in terms of, all right, Bruno, they're looking for better pass. So we'll figure out and pass, but we're going to shoot. Maybe you say, try that once in a while.
Because you can tell what's at our well, dog. You see you.
Anyway, guys, let me just get his comments. Davian saying after we bad talk Wan-Bissaka and if he can't cross, he come and get us it. I'm telling you. I was saying
That's still a game today.
Yeah, but Saka was decent today. So guys, let's try to just bring up certain things about the game today that you'd have noticed that would have been good or of concern to you. And let's get it flowing now. So I'll start with Gregory.
I think for me, one of my biggest concerns is that sometimes we don't look too certain when we're setting up defensively. I felt like a lot of times prior to Aston Villa's equalizer, there were a lot of times we looked very suspect. If De Gea wasn't on his game today, we probably would have been maybe 3 goals down at one point. So I have to give that De Gea credit. I'm not such thing as be on him or right through with De Gea, but I'm not a De Gea. I have no agenda against any player, any team. Once they're wearing this badge, once they're wearing this badge here, that's the important thing for me.
Daddy Adidas badge.
Once they wear this badge, that's the important thing for me. You wear that badge, you have my support full 100. If you're doing crap, then I'll go tell you.
I too,
But I have to give David De Gea some credit for that, for him being on this game. But defensively, there were still some moments I felt like, all right, we were letting Aston Villa get into our box and get some opportunities to put crosses in. That could have been dangerous. Anybody who was a little bit more prolific on the ball, we could have been seeing an avalanche of goals coming our way. That was my only concern. Other than that, I like the way we answered them back. As regards, okay, you counter at us, we countering back at you. So we keep everybody on their toes. That made for a very interesting game for me. But that's one of my issues, that we have to more control ourselves defensively.
Yeah. Simeon? Simeon, there can he. All right. Fernandez, talk to me.
Yeah, well, My concern as well too is that defensive thing. You see, every time another team have a corner, I just always start to feel, like, hey, they're going to score. And that is a feeling that I
Well,
really,
the
really
Gea
would
was
like.
class today. The Gea was.
Yeah. And then
You hear me?
Matikas gave you some real problems today and all too. So I think going forward we do have a problem, but I still think defensively we still have a little thing to tweak in the defense, especially with crosses and corners and those types of things. I think we need to try and fix those errors.
Yeah. Simeon, you want to go ahead with your points?
Yeah, I will go with I saw today again Reims where Wan-Bissaka. In fact, and analyze it. I don't know if I could blame Wan-Bissaka because when John McGinn in the first 15 or 20 minutes got the chance against the here, Wan-Bissaka was sucked into the middle.
Yeah.
But he was sucked into the middle. But then I'm watching that you can't blame him, and it is something that you see at other teams working against us because you saw it. I think was El Ghazi was inside.
Yeah.
Ghazi starts to move inward, and Wan-Bissaka started to move inward with him, but it had another player there. But Wan-Bissaka now, like he started to see El Ghazi, and he thinking, all right, well they might mark here. I started to move with him. And then John McGinn was coming up on the outside again. So yes, to me, it looked like a ploy. Look at a ploy that coaches using to expose us down that side, to overload that side, pull players to that side, and then play it across on the back post. But also, I think it's the responsibility of whoever playing wide to track back. I think the wider players had to take responsibility in tracking back and also communicating, hey, a man coming, because I don't feel happening because there's too much times Wan-Bissaka getting sucked in and the ball coming across where players could score. And you saw that.
Yeah. And it happened a lot against Brighton.
Yeah,
and and then we eventually had to play it.
Yeah, and then Leipzig was a fighting game and say, well, all right, I did point right in.
Yeah.
Expose us. Yeah.
My thoughts, and I mean, I fully agree with the defensive concerns. And I remember at some point during the game, because remember we always saying, Bailly is the best when he composed, when he in control. But it had a couple of moments when I found that Bailly was losing himself. Some of the challenges that he was making, because I thought that there was one, they were offside, and I think this is when he got the yellow card.
The yellow card,
yeah. And Bailly flying to a tackle, and I was like, Bailly could have get sent off.
Yeah.
And these are the
I don't know if it was offside though. I don't know if it was offside, but again, it was a silly challenge.
Yeah. And
decisions like that is what a game job.
Exactly. He could have get injured, he could have get sent off. And these are the things that we always talking about and hoping that Bailly could up, because we see in the quality, we seen what he offering, and we need it in the team. When Lindelof and Maguire there, we just missed what Bailly had to offer. I remember in the first half, about came across the goal, and Bailly threw his body, to head it out. And I know Lindelof would have run alongside Watkins, and Watkins would have tapped that team. You understand what I'm saying? And I don't want to single out Lindelof here. Maguire might have do the same thing. The challenge at the death of the game when Aston Villa could have equalized. I don't know if Maguire or Lindelof going to give us that. Not even to Anzebe. So the kind of qualities, that Bailly offering, we need that earlier. And I guess need Bailly to keep his head in the game. Secondly, and I think it's something Oli had mentioned in his post-match. I think we need to be a little more decisive in the final third. And I don't mean it with any malice, but I thought Rashford could have been a little more unselfish today. We know he in red hot form. We know he's scoring for fun, but at the same time, let's put the team in a make the decision to put the team in a more commanding position before you start to think about me. You know, and I thought it happened too much times where we were indecisive in the final third, and sometimes that is allow and give the opposition the confidence to think that, hey, here we're going, we have a chance. We had too much opportunities to kill off the game today, and so that I would not have to be on the edge of my seat sweating at the 94th minute.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think we had to stop doing ourselves that. We talk about elite mentality, we're talking about belief, and I know we get in there because we've seen it. But let's kill off games. We created the opportunities to kill off games. You know, let's not make life easy for the opposition to give them that belief to say, well, hey, we could still nick something at the death and still walk out with that point. You know, so I this is what I want to see, us being a little more decisive in the attacking third, and then we power away the chances that presented to us. You know, Simeon, I see you back on. I don't know if you want to, you know, weigh in on anything in terms of the game, things that might have irk your concerns, or things that you know you want to praise.
Yeah, man. I mean, well, before I left, I see.
Simeon again.
When I left, I think Nick was packing my shell bag, you know, getting ready to send him away. But I mean, I think the team showed some. Oh. Nah, see, I mean, the team have a. You see Marshall moving in the box, something, you know, we're used to seeing Marshall do a header. You know, Fred playing more forward passes. He ain't perfect yet, but you see the improvement from this team. De Gea making some tough saves, you know, and Barry have the defense looking good. So, I mean, this team is getting better, but, you know, and that's what you want to see from a team. I worry about Rashford. I mean, Rashford could dribble to anywhere on the field. He could dribble anywhere. But like the same issue with Green, I mean, you praise him for it, but it's like I just feel like either he can score or pass shoot, and he's not scoring. And it's like you recognize his skill, but the end result is.
Okay, so I think we're getting some real challenges with Simeon as well. I don't know. I hope 2020 don't bring, you know, technical
21.
difficulties. You know,
21.
21 don't bring too much technical difficulties, because I mean we will be enjoying plenty of reviews because the team winning. All right. I think we got the general thoughts on the game, right? Nico, I know you had a point that you wanted to talk about with Grealish.
Yeah, I was thinking, guys, and all those who listening, if it is that we lose Pogba, where Pogba leaves in the summer, would Jack Grealish be a player that who could swoop in and play that position and even excel at it? Or is there maybe somebody else who you feel could come in and do that job? Today, for me, Jack Grealish, yes, we know he taught in Aston Villa at a point, but I saw certain qualities in him that maybe could be adapted to our style and our brand of football. I think also his mentality is of a winning mentality that could even add to what the likes are Bruno and Rashford and, you know, and Co has, you know. So I don't know what you guys think about a Grealish for a Pogba, or if we see somebody else that maybe could fill that role if Pogba leaves.
Yeah.
No, good.
Yeah, I don't mind seeing Grealish because he already Premier League proven, and he's a player that always plays no matter what. Even though his whole team not performing, he's the only player that you actually see out there running and performing. And you know, he looked like a good player who robust, and he can play a lot of matches. He not injury prone, so I think he will be a good buy to United. And I've seen him say a lot of times that he's a long-time Manchester United fan, but every player who linked our club is here, he's a fan and them kind of things. So anyway, I don't know.
About the money yet?
Yeah.
I said that too. That Nico, as you said, it's about the money too, but because a lot of times we're looking at the situations, the price tag will be the biggest issue for me. Aston Villa asking, I think, somewhere around like 80 million for him. Granted, he's
Maybe
talented.
100.
Yeah, well, you see. So I mean,
No,
in my
but-
mind, it's like,
And the 80 million was when they was going to get relegated last season.
I think it would have dropped to 40 if they had gotten relegated.
But now
you
his
see-
price tag would raise because, yeah.
And that's just it. So in my mind, it's like, yes, okay, he's very talented. He's a good quality player. He's clearly proven in the Premier League, like you said. But like I said, that price tag is always going to be the biggest issue for me. And if they're really willing to budge, and on top of that, he also seems to be a player that can play the similar positions to like where Bruno plays already. So I mean, while it's a quality there where you have someone, okay, you have more options for multiple positions. It's a situation where, depending on how much games he expects to get, if he's going to be satisfied with the time he gets, because I mean, we don't want it to be a situation where we feel like everybody frustrated because of how Donny van de Beek already barely gets in games in the team. So you kind of have to wonder how things will play out. But if he does come, if we do happen to get him, I would love having Jack Grealish on this team. He'd be quite the acquisition. He'd be quite the complement to any of our team in there. And if Pogba goes, I was more looking at someone like Camavinga from in the French league, who's similar to Pogba in some regards. But Grealish is a very good acquisition if we manage to land him.
But every time United were a player, they slap 20 million on the price tag, you know that, right?
I think now Manchester United tax or something, you know.
But I think if you look at how our team played today, because I mean, Ollie like to play with quick wingers, and Grealish is not really the quickest. But when you look at how the team set up today with the role that Pogba played, you know, as a left midfielder, you know, where he was central or wide and he was creating width at times, but he was also in the middle and he was in the box. And that is similar to how, and then Grealish as well, it's similar to how Grealish was playing today. So, I mean, let's just say by the stretch, we lose Pogba. I see Grealish fitting there seamless and perfect. You know, Richard talked about his robustness, his experience with the Premiership. You know, so I think it'll be an ideal fit. They play this. Right now he's playing the same role that Pogba is playing, a left midfielder and not a left winger, right? Because in Aston Villa, I think his target is the one that provides the width.
Yeah.
So if we were to go up with the system that United play today, and with a swap Pogba with Grealish, now I am by no means saying that Grealish is on the level with Pogba, because I think Pogba is different gravy, right? But I am thinking, as if we bring Grealish into our team at the levels where he is Aston Villa right now, then I think the move will be seamless, right? I think he have the quality, he have the ability, he have the guile, you know, to fit that role and to make us play just as good, if not better.
Greg, in terms of, well, there's how I started to take off, especially of recent, right? Of recent past, you would have further a price tag, 120 million, you know, I mean, 100 million, you know, whatever it is. And it used to be like, nah, me is spending so much money for that player. But then reality really hit me. Like, share that money comes out of your pocket, and that is what you want. And that is what you want. That is what the team needs. If you want,
and I get what you're saying, Nico. I really get what you're saying, because we could go back to Pogba's price tag. We could also go back to Maguire's price tag. Just because that's what the clubs ask for doesn't mean that that's necessarily what they're worth. But it doesn't mean that they're not quality players. Because I mean, we all see what Paul Pogba brings to any team once he's playing in the proper system. Right. We can see the best of what Harry Maguire can give us at times. Watching Jack Grealish at Aston Villa, to be able to play at that constant level, to give big teams like ourselves and the likes of the cities, and even to be part of a team that hit Liverpool 7. I mean, that says a lot about that kind of a player, and he's the best of the bunch.
Yeah. So I said, if it is that Aston Villa calling 100 million and United willing to pay 100 million, you know what I mean? Then, or even if the United don't want to pay the 100 million. I will want them to pay the 100 million because they come out from my pocket, and to me, that's what the team need to be a success.
Yeah.
You know,
But Nico,
to me,
Nico,
I don't got price target.
here's how I look at it.
To pay, I cool. What?
Here's how I look at it too, Nico. Here's how I look at it too, though. You also have to look at it from the flip side of the coin. We've seen many big money purchases that don't always work out well in other clubs when they move. Classic example, Philip Coutinho at Barcelona. Look at how things played out for him. He had to go to Bayern Munich to get on loan just to find back his form. He ends up winning the Champions League at Bayern Munich. And now he's going back to Barca to try and see if he can carry that there. Initially, those things don't always play out the way we want them to. I would hope if we do get Grealish, that if it's a big money move, that it does fit in seamlessly, that he does complement the side, and he does give them a fluidity that we've been lacking for some time. And that's just the thing with me. I'm a kind of person you look at, while we understand there's a need and we need to fill said need, is the cost worth it? That's how I kind of look at it. Granted, what he's doing
for me don't matter.
No, but I think the thing is, all transfers are risks. You know, it's not guaranteed that any transfer going to work out. You know, I mean, it's just you have to make sure and do your scouting. You know, do whatever background check you have to do to try to minimize, you know, the risk of failure. But what we've been seeing from Jack Grealish, you know, now albeit at Aston Villa, he is the main man. He can do what he wants. You know, so he thriving on that kind of freedom and flexibility. You know,
that's the point.
But however, it doesn't mean that, because once Grealish has that mentality, then there's no telling. I don't think there's any reason to question whether he'll be a success. Look at Bruno. We were looking at Bruno at Sporting.
Yeah.
And Bruno had that mentality. Bruno was playing every and anywhere on the field. Our question was whether he would have adjusted, he would have taken long to adjust to the Premiership, and he came and it was seamless. Yeah. And I was seeing similar qualities and traits in Grealish, because I look at how he handled the ball, I look at how he plays. Even when he went to England, you know, it took some time, but in the latter set of games that he was playing, we were seeing where Grealish was the go-to man for England, and he only just got called up, you know. So I am thinking that with the quality, Grealish has the mentality, you know, because to carry Aston Villa on your back last season, you can't have no kind of tin mindset or tin mentality, you know.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, I was telling Nico before we started the review, I'm willing to sacrifice, and I mean, I know probably I might change my mind next couple of weeks, but I'm willing to sacrifice Sancho to get Grealish.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be a bad shout, I honestly think, because I mean, after the hardball with Dortmund play with us, if we could work out something with Aston Villa and we could get Grealish, then I think it would be a nice compliment to our team. I just would like to make sure we show up other aspects as well too, because everybody say we need another centre back, but Grealish gives us a certain quality in our midfield. Yeah, you think of a trio with him, Bruno, Pogba, maybe even Scott and Fred. That's like an alternative trio. The possibilities are endless when you think about it.
But I think when you add Grealish to the team, you know, like, we could cover for Bruno in case of any injuries or anything like that. You know, we would still have a creative playmaker in the midfield. You know.
Yeah. But the thing about it, for that kind of price tag, 80 million to 100 million, you're not gonna buy that player to put him on a bench.
Yeah.
And I think that's what making it easy for Van de Beek to not be a concern, because we're not playing that much amount of games now. Anytime Van de Beek price was over 50 million, then we'd have a little issue there, you know. But Grealish is the type of player you'll bring in as a direct. I mean, once we set up like how we set up today, that is there. You know, he will be the man to come in and replace Pogba if Pogba leaves. But as long as Pogba stays and playing the levels that we've seen right now, then I don't see the need, you know. Let me just get 2 comments and then we could probably wrap up the review. Right. Oh yeah, this Simeon here. He's saying I had to jump outside, freezing up. The rain up here messing with my connection. The bat board gonna buy players now, or he's asking if the board gonna buy players now.
Well, if Pogba leaves, you got to definitely buy somebody. Because Van der be careful, Larol.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. He's also saying good players that want to play here are always welcome. He will show up. He will show up his spots on the national team playing with us. Yeah, that's definitely.
Yeah, success with United is automatic that he would be. If Phil Jones and Smalling in days struggling, right, was England stalwarts, then Grealish in the form of United right now, he might be captain of England.
How Phil Jones make our last World Cup team for England?
That's a mystery right there.
All right, guys. So let me get some closing thoughts now. We enter 2021 and we really want to continue this title push. I was a little bit cautious with my thoughts on it, but Nico, as you were saying, Nico could sell what ice. What you say? He could sell what?
Water tower well.
He could sell water tower well.
Eskimo.
Yeah, well, I start Eskimo. Nico, I'm convinced. So I really thinking about this title challenge right now. But let's get some closing thoughts now.
Let me just put it to you like this. My same statement stands from the last review. I am still taking this one game at a time. Yes, we are right there with Liverpool. Yes, we are level on points with them. But the way this season has been going, one slip and everything could change. Everything could fall apart just like that. And I just want to be in a situation where I've seen some consistency. The only time I can probably safely say that we're really officially in this race, it depends on what we do against Liverpool themselves. I waited for that game. I waited for that game specifically. If we can eke a draw or even win that game, which I believe is strongly possible the way we've been playing, then and only then I will safely say we're in a title race. Watch this space.
Because and that's an interesting point, Gregory. Because last season we were struggling with the smaller teams, but we would have been beating the bigger teams. And this season so far, I don't think we have beaten any of the top 6. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't
think any of them have beaten us either.
Right, but one thing. Right, but what I'm saying is last season we would have beaten them.
But you're still classing Arsenal as a top 6, right?
Yeah. That's what I said. Nine top 6 plus. With you.
Top 6 though.
You then I know saying none of the top 6 teams have beaten us.
Nico.
Yeah. My only concern is, and I hope for the games coming up, it will be difficult. But my only concern is the amount of games that Bruno has been playing consistently. I think that is a sign of some kind of worry for me. I think he had to get some rest somewhere in between all these games, because the moment we lose Bruno, things could fall apart quickly, to injury. So my concern is really if we could, find some way. Yes, we know, and to me that was kudos to Oli today. Yes, the game was tight. Bruno didn't want to come off. We saw when he was coming off, he was shaking his head. He was upset to come off. Yeah. But I thought today was a good call to take off Bruno. I think the extra 10 minutes rest, was good. I think he came off on his own strength, which is always a good sign. My just concern is that let's just stay fit. I know we have Man City's next game. Man City in the semi-final
Carabao.
EFL for the Carabao. I don't think he might get a rest here. I think maybe for the Watford game, he should get a rest. Hopefully, at least, coming off the bench if we need him. But I think Bruno really had to get some rest. I think even Rashford also need a bit of rest. I know even Maguire, maybe need a bit of rest. I think that's my only concern going in just our games here. Otherwise, I think we're in a real good form. I think confidence-wise, we on top. I think the games where we used to start slow, and I heard Oli said one of his previews at the games was that they got the formula now. We got the formula to get the team starting off on the front foot, and I think you have been seeing that whatever formula it was, it's working.
He broke the balloon.
Then what is that?
He popped the balloon.
Yeah. Because from since then to now, you have been seeing us starting on the front foot. You have been seeing us not being lethargic on the start of the games. You have been seeing us being a first half and a second half team, where we was more a second half team before. So I think we can gain that a bit of consistency within the team. Just to continue that, keep Bruno free, injury free. And I think we will be in a real good space heading into the summer.
Yeah. Fernandez?
Yeah, today I saw something with the team that that I like seeing, especially for the first match in 2021, first match for the year, is when Bailly made the last tackle and seeing how all the players came to him and hug him, and that's the type of mentality, the kind of togetherness, one for a team, and that's a winning mentality, and you could see that is a championship winning team.
Yeah.
So I like the togetherness, it have no feud in the dressing room like before and them kind of thing, So I think that once we take it one game at a time, I think, we could win the league. And as Nico said, we need to keep Bruno injury free and make sure that he up for the Liverpool game, especially him and Rashford.
Yeah.
So I think he should get a rest coming down here. I think he should get at least a rest for 2 games, because I think we game in hand against Burnley is before the Liverpool game. So I think he should get a rest for that game.
I don't think Oli.
Rest of the Premier League games, eh?
Yeah. I don't think Oli would rest him for Premier League games. And I think one of the questions he was asking at one of his previous interviews is, how do you intend to rest Bruno? And he say he'll take him off. So we see how the team just kind of lack that chemistry. He's like the glue now.
Yeah.
So I think what Bruno would have to because, and the good thing is that Bruno is not the injury prone type.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not going to take it for granted because of that, But what we would more likely see is Bruno not finishing games, as opposed to being left out completely now, because we kind of need him right now.
Yeah.
And I think what will be good as well is, I don't know if you'll notice today, when Oli took Bruno off, he played Pogba as the number 10. So probably as Pogba has been playing a little bit higher up now, he'll be able to ease out Bruno a little more, because Pogba will be, kind of in the, in that stead now.
Yeah.
So it has so much things that could happen right now that might be good opportunities to give Bruno the rest. But I agree fully with Olia. We need to kind of preserve the certain players now. And I mean, we talk about Fernandez, we talk about Rashford, Maguire. These are fellas that have minutes in the legs. And with that kind of accumulation, we know injuries, just peeping, just waiting now, So yeah. So guys, I think that brings us to the end of our review. It was a good one to start the year. Man United is on the up. Man United is playing the kind of football that we have been asking and desirous of over the past couple of years. And, passing Moyes, Van Gaal, the special one, it's taking a PE teacher, to bring us to that place. And this is by no means us saying only going to, win us Champions Leagues and them kind of thing. We're taking that one step at a time.
Yeah.
But he's been labeled a particular way, and he's the one who have us playing some of the best football with the best kind of intensity, the desire, the belief that we've seen since Alex Ferguson. So kudos to Oli, on that. People buying into philosophy.
If I could just interject one last thing here, just to show a benchmark of the progress that we made so far. Around this same time last year, if anybody remembers our position, we were in 6th place, and we were, I think, like 28 points off of top.
Yeah.
Right now, we are joint in the top, right behind Liverpool on goal difference. It just goes to show how much a difference a year really makes.
Yeah. Yeah. So and that's true. So let's hope that it will continue for a long time, and that these reviews will be, upbeat, and we will be talking about, why Marcel score, like how we scored, like how number 9 supposed to score. But no. But the point I'm making is that he's scoring on the left, man. We winning games. That is what I mean. Most important. So guys, thanks for joining again. I mean, the comments wasn't as how they normally are, because I guess people still enjoying the new year and celebrating and with family, But nonetheless, we committed to do this and we're here. So we hope you all enjoy it. Have a good night, everybody. Thanks again.
Okay, good night.
Yeah, man. Good night, everybody.
Yeah, man, good night.